3 years from now, two people with the same degree, the same experience, and even the same job title could be earning completely different salaries, and AI will be the reason. That sounds surprising, doesn't it? Because we usually think career growth comes from experience, promotions, and working harder. But the workplace is changing, and the people who become more valuable may not be the ones doing the most visible work. They may be the ones who learn how to use AI, adapt faster, and take ownership of bigger decisions. Today, let's explore why AI isn't simply replacing jobs. It is redefining what makes people valuable at work. Welcome to Build the Dreamverse. Imagine two new hires entering same corporate lobby on the same day. They carry identical degrees and the same amount of experience. Fast forward 36 months, one professional is leading high stakes strategy sessions with a salary to match. The other is still processing data at their entry level desk, stagnant and increasingly overwhelmed. The compensation data recorded for 2026 shows a massive divergence in how these two trajectories are valued. The evidence points to a single variable at the center of the gap. Starting at the same baseline no longer guarantees a similar outcome. To understand why, we have to look at how organizations have rewritten the rules of what they are actually willing to pay for. Throughout the traditional corporate era, career success was defined almost exclusively by the acquisition of job titles. A senior title functioned as a social and economic shortcut. It signaled prestige to the outside world and often provided a predictable increase in baseline pay, even when the actual workload did not change significantly. This model offered deep psychological comfort. Titles provided the appearance of leadership while often allowing individuals to avoid the continuous personal burden of real world risk. Humans are naturally drawn to social visibility and status. At the same time, we are equally wild to avoid the costs that usually come with it. The stress of making hard decisions, the pressure of accountability, and the visibility of being blamed when things go wrong. While success without responsibility was once a viable way to navigate a rigid corporate ladder, that mindset has become a liability in the performance linked economy. This is where the shift becomes important. The workplace is moving away from rewarding titles alone. It is increasingly rewarding measurable contribution, accountability, and the ability to create real value. Across 2025 and 2026, a macroeconomic shift began dismantling the fixed hierarchies that once protected the title first professional. The trend saw a clear move away from tenure based pay. Companies are rapidly adopting skills based pay, variable compensation, and ESOPs. Financial rewards are being tied directly to measurable value creation. The label on a business card is being replaced by actual impact. This is the era of responsibility led success. In this framework, professionals expect higher compensation specifically because they are willing to carry the weight of managing people, making difficult decisions, and owning the risk of the outcome. For those who expect automatic raises based on solely a new title or years of service, the traditional corporate ladder is no longer providing a hand up. As AI integrates into the office, it acts as a stress test for these two different mindsets. A title first professional often uses AI to generate high volume output quickly. The goal is to finish the task while avoiding the harder work of verification, judgment, and deep thought. This creates a dangerous gap. An organization cannot hold an algorithm accountable for errors or poor judgment. When the AI fails, the professional who relied on it without taking ownership finds themselves exposed. Deloitte's 2026 research indicates that Real time adaptability, the ability to learn these tools and apply them responsibly, has become the primary differentiator between stagnation and growth. By contrast, a responsibility led professional uses AI to automate routine execution. This frees up cognitive bandwidth to focus on strategy, empathy, and high level coordination. AI shifts the nature of the job. Professionals are no longer paid primarily for the manual execution of a task. They are increasingly paid for the ability to supervise the output, ensure quality, and take absolute ownership of the final result. And this creates a strange psychological paradox. We naturally prefer the benefits with minimal risk. But AI is automating many of the low risk, repetitive tasks that used to be easy to perform. So, one thing that cannot be delegated to the machine is the consequence of a bad decision. Because of this, the willingness to take ownership of risk and make complex judgment calls is now one of the rarest and most valuable assets in the modern economy. Choosing to avoid responsibility in an automated world doesn't just lower stress, it actively erodes a professional's market value. Organizations are shifting from vertical ladders to dynamic networks where influence flows through contribution rather than rank. In these networks, the highest compensation flows to the individuals who anchor automated workflows with human judgment and absolute accountability. A career built on a title is fragile. It relies entirely on how things look from the outside. A career built on accountability is sustainable. It relies on the influence that comes from actually delivering results. The imperative for the modern professional is to stop chasing the prestige of the title and start seeking the weight of the responsibility. In an era where AI can execute almost any task, the willingness to step up and take absolute ownership has become one of the most valuable skills a person can possess. If you're finding value in this video, consider subscribing Build the Dreamverse and sharing it with your friends and colleagues. It genuinely helps the channel grow and allows us to continue creating research driven content like this. So, this episode is not just about AI, it is about value, it is about responsibility, and it is about what employers will reward in the years ahead. This is Build the Dreamverse. Think better, build bigger.